So this guy's name is Christopher Winstead, and he's accused of R-wording his girlfriend while she was in the middle of having a seizure.
Former Trailblazer Ben McLemore took the stand in his defense on Thursday, telling his version of what happened at a house party where he was accused of raping a woman after a night of drinking.
The other day, I had made a comment. I said the average man is Bill Cosby, because I was talking about how men prey upon women when they're in very vulnerable positions, like being intoxicated. And not only will they prey on those women, they actually facilitate the conditions in which leads to women being intoxicated. So they'll buy women a bunch of drinks. I'm not even talking about derugging women or anything like that. I'm just saying, like, they will literally like just be like a spider, one of those like funnel web spiders that like come out the trap door on you. That's how men, like, they just lay in wait a lot of times, and they're just waiting for a woman to be incapacitated and to be vulnerable enough for him to do what he wants to do to her. And I wanted to show some examples. It is definitely a trigger warning for both of these things, but it just further illustrates that point that men are just predatory as hell. And it is the average man. I know you guys think that it's not. You think that it's 1% of men. And no. It's the average man. The average man is waiting for a woman to be vulnerable. Like, I don't know how else to tell you this. The average man is waiting for a woman to be vulnerable so that he can take advantage of her, without a doubt. I can name so many examples. I can give you so many examples of this beyond sex. Like, we could talk about women when they're pregnant, when they're their most vulnerable, and how men flip the switch, and that's when men become their most abusive. That's more proof that the average man is Bill Cosby, that the average man is just waiting for a woman to be vulnerable so that he can take advantage of her and abuse her. The average man, not the extreme man, the average man, right? But I have two very thick examples of that we're going to get into right now. So this is Ben McLemore. He is a former NBA player. I remember a long time ago, he got drafted by the Sacramento Kings back around the time when I had like kind of stopped watching basketball. But yeah, so he's been in the league. He's a multimillionaire. College athlete, star, basketball player, all of these things, right? All of these things. And when you listen to what he did to this girl, when you just hear like the circumstances, you will quickly surmise that it doesn't matter how much money, how much fame, how much wealth, how much access men have. Men are predators, and they will do predatory things whenever they are presented with the opportunity to do so. I know a lot of people, especially men, they like to say stuff like, why would he do that? He got money. He could better, because it's about power. It always has been, and it always will be with these types of men. It is about power. It is about dominance. It's about doing the taboo thing. And it's about the dehumanization of women. That is what it's all about.
Was there any point along the way that you thought
Former Trailblazer Ben McLemore took the stand in his defense on Thursday, telling his version of what happened at a house party where he was accused of raping a woman after a night of drinking. McLemore says the evening began with bowling before team members met at Robert Covington's Lake Oswego home for cards and drinking.
But I was just, just being there and just enjoying the night and just, having that time with my teammates and stuff.
McLemore testified he encountered the alleged victim in the bathroom after some of her friends asked him to help move her to the couch because she was intoxicated. McLemore said he eventually fell asleep on that same couch and then woke up a few hours later with that woman's hands down his pants.
Fondling me and basically rousing me. So that's what pretty much woke me up. Again, I'm in deep sleep.
That's when McLemore says he began having sex with a woman, an encounter he describes as consensual.
She didn't show no signs of distress or discomfort. It didn't, give me no signs at all or alertness of that.
McLemore says that he and the alleged victim never spoke with each other before, during, or after the encounter, and he left Covington's house immediately after they had sex. During cross-examination, the prosecution argued the alleged victim never consented to sex with McLemore.
You did say on direct, it was one of the most terrible things I've ever done in my life.
Right.
Having sex with an unconscious woman would be one of the most terrible things, wouldn't it?
I'm gonna say unconscious, but that moment was me leaving without saying anything was definitely a terrible one of the.
The trial will continue tomorrow here in Clackamas County with more experts and character witnesses expected to testify. Closing arguments could happen sometime next week.
By the way, I'm pretty sure that woman was 21 years old. I don't know how old she was at the time. He's 30 now, I think, and she was 21. I believe. If I read the article on it or an article on it, and I think those are the age. So basically, they're 9 years apart. So whenever it happened, they were 9 years apart. She was in her early 20s. He was either in his late 20s or 30 years old, one of the two. Because it happened in 2022, they said. So 3 years ago. She might be 24 now, whatever. This is disgusting. And it goes to show you, like I said, it doesn't matter how wealthy a man is. It doesn't matter how much influence he has, how much power he has. Let's lay out the whole thing, right? He's 6 feet tall. He has a six pack. He makes 6 figures. More. He makes 8 figures. Right? Or 7 figures. He's a 7-figure dude. He's a 7-figure player. Like I said, he is, known globally because he's in the NBA. There's only, 150 players in the NBA at any given time, and he's been in the NBA for like 8 years. So yeah, everybody knows him. He was at another NBA player's house where it happened. She was a young girl. She was a child to some, but she was very young. And to the people, this is what I be saying. This is why I differentiate adults not by age, right? Not by like, oh, they're 18 or they're 21, but by behaviors and by maturity level. Like that is why I like to make the distinction between 21-year-old girls and 30-year-old women. That's what I'm saying. Like there is a reason why they need a different level of protection. All women deserve to be protected, but the younger you are and the less mature you are and the less experienced you are, the more protection you need. That's just the reality, right? When your baby is 2, you don't let them ride a bike at all. When your baby is 3 or 4, you let them ride a bike with training. You let them ride a tricycle. When your baby is 5, you let them ride a bike with training wheels. When your baby is 6, you take off the training wheel. You know what I'm saying? Like there is progression, right? So we need to make sure that we are protecting our youth. We need to make sure that there are safeguards in place for younger people, men and women, boys and girls, whatever you want to say. Absolutely. I am 100% down for that. I don't even think that 30-year-olds and 20-year-olds should be partying together, to be honest. You know what I mean? Like 10 years apart, 9 years. Like, why the fuck are you partying with a goddamn 21-year-old and you're a 30-year-old man? And this ain't your niece or your nephew or, you know what I mean? Like, this is just like some girls that y'all just invited over. Fuck out of here. Robert Covington, too. Why all of the men involved in this situation are to blame, if you ask me. Why the fuck do you guys have 21-year-old young women over there to your house, Robert Covington? Why? That's stupid. Like, why would you do that? Are you going and then not protect them? Crazy. The men, like, there's no the men are 1,000% wrong. All the men, to me, in this are culpable. And I don't mean that Robert Covington should go to prison or anything. I'm just saying morally, he is wrong. He is wrong. Yeah. And there should be some smut put on his name for having those 21-year-old girls over his fucking house. Period. Because he invited them over. So yeah, you are wrong. Yes, absolutely. That's disgusting. The fuck are you doing? 30-year-old men partying with 20-year-old girls. Y'all are fucking gross. Yeah, Robert Covington is 34 years old. And this happened 3 years ago. So he was 31. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you doing? Why would you do that? Or 4 years ago. I'm sorry. 4 years ago. This happened 4 years ago. This happened 4 years ago. And Ben McLemore is 32. He's 32 years old now. So he was 28. And old boy, Rocco was 30 years old. So you're talking about, and the woman was 21. And they said again, I think she was 21 at the time. If I had to be, if I'm not mistaken, she was 21 at the time. So she's 25 now, and Macklemore is whatever age he is, and Rocco is whatever age he is. And it would stand to reason that she was partying with around the same age girls and women. Why are y'all partying with them? Why did you have, as a 30-year-old man, why did you have 21-year-old women at your house? That's crazy. That's wicked. That's what I'm saying. I don't like that at all. We have to protect the youth. We got to protect them. They're not all the way ready yet to be partying with 30-year-olds. I'm sorry. They're just not ready yet. Not all the way. 30-year-olds are disgusting and very predatory. And so are 20-something-year-olds. Don't get me wrong, but we need to protect them from a lot of groups of people. It's just so hard to protect women because like all groups of men are so bad. 25-year-old men aren't necessarily any better than 30-year-old men, but I'm just saying that 30-year-old men are more cunning, I would say. I don't know if they're more likely to do the bad thing, but they're more cunning than 22-year-old boys and men. That's what I'm saying. So yeah, we need to do something. That's all. As a society, we need to do something. Well, with that being said, do you see what I'm saying when I say how men wait for women to be in vulnerable positions so that they can take advantage of them? They wait for women to be in vulnerable positions, whether it be they need money and they, make a woman do something for some money. A woman needs some protection and they go, what are you going to do for me? It doesn't matter. Like they just wait for women to be vulnerable so that they could take advantage of them. This woman was passed out. This woman was drunk. There's no way the pictures that they showed, there was no way that she woke up in the middle of the night and started fondling that man. There's no way. No way in hell you're going to convince me of that, or a jury, and that's why he got convicted. There's no way you're going to tell me that that he didn't intentionally get her that drunk, or they didn't intentionally get those girls that drunk as a group, hoping that something like that would happen. There's no way. That doesn't happen on accident. That's not a oopsies. Like that's deliberate. And time again, we see men going out their way to put women in these positions and to get women in vulnerable situations so that they can prey on them.
So this guy's name is Christopher Winstead, and he's accused of R-wording his girlfriend while she was in the middle of having a seizure. So him and his girlfriend of 6 years were messaging back and forth, and he had expressed his interest in having some penetrative relations, and she says no multiple times in text message over the course of a few days. Well, long story short, she finds herself in his apartment complex parking lot. They're texting back and forth, and all of a sudden she feels the symptoms of having a seizure. She messages him twice on text message for help, explaining what was going on, and then she says she blacks out. When she wakes up, he is doing the relations she had said she didn't want to have happen and doing it in her anus. She tells him to stop. He doesn't. And then he ends up, when finished, telling her to go take a shower. She's forced to take a shower, and then he kicks her out of his apartment naked. Police are called, and he is then arrested after she submits to a kit for sexual assault.
That is the most diabolical shit I've heard in a while. His own girlfriend of 6 years was sick, having a medical emergency. And instead of going to help her, he took advantage of her. Instead of helping her, he took advantage of her. All because she denied him access to her, to her body. They were texting back and forth, and he was asking her, could he do this act, this sexual act with her? And she said no, she wasn't into it. And he said, nah, you gonna do it anyway. And he just waited. I mean, he was gonna take advantage, he was gonna do it eventually, no matter what. But as soon as he saw an opportunity, he pounced. And then everything that transpired after that shows that it was premeditated, right? Like, he went downstairs. When she told him, he was like, quick. Oh, now I can go put it, you know what I mean? Like, now I can go do the thing. It was all premeditated. Maybe it sounds like he's done it before too, to be honest with you. Now, I'm not talking about taking advantage of a woman having a seizure, because how the fuck could he do that? But he has done acts similar to this because he had a plan of action set. That's what it sounds like. This is his girlfriend. This is not some random girl, some new girl that he met on the street. This is his girlfriend who he was allegedly in a committed relationship with. The way that that is you are a monster. You are a monster. And women are living with monsters. They're getting pregnant by monsters. They're going over the house of monsters, houses of monsters. They are at the bar with a monster. They're in the car with a monster. The average man is a monster. The average man is Cosby. The average man is Diddy. Like, does it get any more obvious than this? I don't know who this man is. He could be, like, I don't know. I don't know his track record, but I know one thing about men is that men are predators. Most men are predators. We rationalize being predatory. It's a badge of honor to be predatory. Nobody checks it. Men do not check predatory behavior amongst men. We glorify it. We pedestalize it. So, yeah, very disturbing, I know, but man, this was, it don't get no more evident than this, if you ask me.